Hello, I'm Bunnery.
I'm Brad Mower.
And this is IFXtra. So, we hope you all had a good week and you're all feeling fine. You're not feeling fine though, are you? Not particularly. I think you may have caught something.
Yeah, I think there's a thing going around, you know, so got a sore throat at the minute, so I'm going to try not to talk too much. Need to save my voice for Sunday.
It's going to be a short video then. Whoa, okay, cool. Have you been up to anything particular this week? I know that Ferret did, Ferret was meant to do Interference and Chill, but somehow she couldn't, so you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up swapping in at the last moment,
Yeah.
and yeah, it went pretty well. The interesting part about it is last week we added in a new interactive thing where you could assign a random palette, so it was the first time that was being used. And sorry, I've got Grumble down here in front of us. G, you coming up here? No, I can't eat the table. Come up here. Yeah, so it's the first time it was used in the sort of the live environment, and it worked.
Did you which was nice. Enjoy having it used on you? Yeah,
I mean, actually, I was quite lucky because it got me to use a colour that I wouldn't normally have used, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Cool.
So yeah. So yeah, it was good.
Good fun. Okay, so I think now it's time to see who won this week's awards. Picture of the week this week goes to IFXtra for Ninja teaching a rat to use nunchucks. It looks as though the rat's trying really, really hard, and he's very pleased with his student. So that's a fantastic picture. Well done, IFXtra.
My favourite description this week was "A nun is watching students ballroom dancing" by Sluggo1969. This is one of those descriptions where once you've read it and looked back at the picture, you then can't unsee it. No matter how I look at it now, the person on the left always looks like a nun wearing a habit to me. Nice work, Sluggo1969.
Community pick of the week this week went to HL for "Person is sad that he turned into the cup he was holding." That's really cool. I like the use of the pastel colours and how its face is actually morphed into the cup. That's weird, but brilliant. Well done, HL. They were amazing.
Awesome stuff there, as always.
Right, now we're going to see what we were talking about last week in the forums. So last week I was asking you, what did you want to be when you were little? What kind of job did you think you'd have when you grew up? And did you actually go on to do it? Or do you still intend to try and do it? I always wanted to be like a vet or a journalist, but I thought maybe journalism's a bit hard, and vet's very hard. I don't like to see animals suffer. So, but I also wanted to be a librarian. But that's what I did. Yeah, so I did one of the ones that I wanted to be.
I wanted to be a journalist, like writing about computers or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, that never really worked out. So I got into software development and IT support and things instead, and ended up here doing this. So cool. That was all right.
Yeah. We've had a few people replying to this, didn't we? 9% Irish always want to be a doctor, but then now works for the US federal government instead. And Ghosty's son wants to be a vet. Oh, could look after our grumbles.
Yeah.
But he had so much trouble in school that he couldn't manage having to go to college for that many years, so he's chosen the path of business and worked for a healthcare system. Well, that sounds quite cool.
Yeah. Bubfet wants to be an archaeologist. Now that's
amazing
quite cool.
Job, yeah.
Started school for it and worked in South America and other American sites.
Wow.
But then I got pregnant. Now I do writing, costuming, painting, and special education.
They sound cool too.
Also teach cello lessons.
Wow.
Quite a variety.
Very arty, yeah. Science and art, that's pretty cool. Cadence had two ideas. He wanted to be an editor for novels, because they love reading novels, and also wanted to create costumes and stage sets. Yeah, but they haven't actually done anything like it since. That's a shame.
Currently studying to become an accountant.
Yeah. Never too late to do that as a hobby, though, is it?
Well, it's true, yeah. And I mean, everybody needs accountants, so you got some pretty much guaranteed income there.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have to go see our accountant on
next
Monday,
week.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Lydia Wansley wanted to be a lawyer, and then in senior year decided wanted to teach, and then life happened, became a military wife living in Germany.
Wow. Okay.
So
got to see some of the world at least.
Yeah, in my 30s, I decided to go to school and currently working as a paralegal. So kind of
on the way then. Yeah.
This is it. Sometimes you've got a destination, you take a little detour, but you come back round to it.
It's never too late. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. Mary says, as small as I can remember, I always want to be a mom.
Oh.
I'm a mom now with 4 children. Very happy to have them.
Oh.
Nice.
And homeschooling them as well, so that's quite a task,
that's
isn't
hard
it?
work, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not kidding.
And Gored says, when I was younger, I wanted to be a scientist.
Oh, cool.
Science, yeah. After I finished school, I studied mineralogy and got my PhD in crystallography.
Wow, that's good.
That's pretty high level.
You're not kidding,
Wow,
yeah.
But when I was finished, I couldn't get a job somewhere in the region, so it was either move somewhere else or do something else.
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave, so thought about what else I'm interested in. Since I was always interested in programming, looked into coding, took an 8-week course, and got a job doing that.
Well, that's pretty good after 8 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do some kind of, scientific coding.
Well, that's it, kind of coding and IT and tech and all that. You can kind of mesh it up with any other kind of thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's that topic is still there if anyone wants to add to that or read the full versions of all those. So now we're going to see what we're going to be talking about next week.
This week on our Discord server, there's been a discussion about pizza toppings. Apparently, sweet corn on pizza, which is really common in the UK, is considered weird elsewhere. Likewise, if you're ordering a pizza from Domino's in Belgium, you can ask for honey as a topping, which just seems really random to me. Is there anything you eat, or do, or say, that always seemed perfectly normal until you mentioned it to someone from another place and they thought you were weird?
If you'd like to chime in with that, just head over to the general discussion forum. It's the pinned thread for the week, so you'll find it at the top of the thread list.
Cool. And don't forget, tomorrow night is quiz night, and we'll be here hosting a live quiz.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this already, every Sunday night at 7 p.m. UK time over on our Mixer channel, mixer.com/interference, we host Zeitgeist, the interference quiz of the week. It's basically a lot like a TV quiz show, except instead of shouting the answers at the screen, you can play along against the rest of the audience. Because we give you points when you get the answer right, and then have leaderboards to see how everyone did.
I know. Can you guess who won last week?
Go on, tell me.
Grinning Goose for the 3rd time in a row. Never been done before.
Yeah, I think it was her first hat trick. Yeah.
And also a perfect round. She didn't get a single question wrong.
I know,
I'm going to have to make them harder this week, aren't I?
Well, exactly. So, in first place, Goose with 250.
Wow.
10 points per question, you see, 25 questions. Callum in second place, just behind on 246. So that was really close. And then Rubberfish was in third on 233.
So he only got 2 wrong, so wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty high scoring there.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so I've chosen some pictures to base my 5 round topics around.
Because each round is based on one of the week's drawings from Interference. So I haven't said this for a while, have I? No. So say, if you had a drawing of a seagull, it might be around about seabirds, seaside towns, seas, oceans.
Absolutely.
Formal hats.
Yeah, could be. Still
has his hat on. Yeah.
I can tell you the artist. I won't tell you what the pictures are, but I can tell you the artist I've chosen. I have chosen 9% Irish. I've chosen Absurd, Epic Eyebrows, Cat 16, and Michael RCA. Some interesting drawings there.
Very good.
You have to tune in to find out what they are, though.
Yep, so I don't see any of this ahead of time. I just know those names. I don't know what the drawings are, the questions, the rounds, anything like that. I'll be guessing along with the rest of you. If you'd like to see how it all turns out, then join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK time, over on mixer.com/interference.
Okay, I think that's it for now. Any more news?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, just goes to say.
Yeah, if you're not already taking part in the game, then get involved at playinterference.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at PlayIFX or on Facebook at PlayInterference. We've also now got a Patreon page at patreon.com/interference if you want to give us a bit of monthly support for the ongoing maintenance of the game, building new things into the quiz, looking after cats and all of the other bits and pieces that we do for you. We really appreciate your support. And also a shout out to 9% Irish, who is a new patron for us this week.
Newest Patreon.
We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you do support us on Patreon, you can get some interesting perks. Things like you can get supporter status within Interference, so you get your name highlighted, you get access to replays and all of those other things. But also you can get a custom entrance announcement from Ava when you join the quiz, if you're also a quiz player.
We've got some very funny ones and cool ones.
We have like Dr. Ridout has, the doctor is in. Rubberfish has one about Toot Thielmans. So 9% Irish, just let us know what you'd like and we will set that up for you.
We certainly will. Okay, that's it for now, so we'll see you again next week.
Yep, have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.